Hello, I'm Mark,
I'm Casey.
And I'm Patrick.
and today we're going to talk a little bit about Tesla increasing the range on vehicles in other countries. But first, Casey's going to roll that title card for us.
Special edition.
You're watching the Tesla Life Express.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us today. Wanted to talk about this couple of articles that have hit the news this week, and it's about a couple of cars, a Model Y and a Model 3, that seem to have extended mileage built in. New range figures have come out. China apparently has filed, Tesla China has filed some paperwork that indicates that they're working on a Model Y that will be a plus version. It's going to have close to 800 kilometers of range. And then there's another article that was put out just a few days earlier about an Israeli Model 3 that's going to be coming out with 750 kilometers of range. So this is kind of interesting. Not really sure what's going on here. Certainly, we have to also keep in mind about different jurisdictions have different ways of calculating the range of a vehicle. We know that the EPA is about the most stringent. When you get over to the European model, it's a little more liberal with the numbers, and the Chinese version is a little more liberal as well. So there is that fluctuation, but these numbers seem to jump significantly, even with that said at the beginning. It looks like there may be some larger sizes here. In fact, the Israeli article, and we'll put both articles below if you'd like to read them, but the Israeli article indicates that it's a speculated 82 kilowatt hours. So for that Model 3. So not a tremendous amount more, but you're getting some definitely some extra mileage out of the vehicle. And I'm wondering if this possibly could be Tesla catering to certain countries based on, I don't know, distance between superchargers, based on feedback from the population. We've obviously seen China make changes. The Model Y Long is one of those changes. So what do you guys think? Does that make sense that that Tesla's catering to certain regions with different sizes of battery packs?
Like, are they all the same when you try to levelize it for each of the local testing, like the China one and the others, or are they all different from each other as well?
They're different.
Huh. I was wondering if maybe they got different battery packs based on local regs. Like here in North America, you wouldn't want a Chinese LFP pack, but a homegrown LFP would be just fine. If it could be something like that, or if these markets are small enough that they're doing testing, like my Model S 90D had that silicon doped anode that they tried, and then they ended up doing it a different way on the later 90Ds.
Yeah. So this could be like a test bed for them and it's interesting that this is both a Model 3 and a Model Y. They're obviously testing two different vehicles here.
Well, the 3 and the Y isn't so weird. Like, because if you look at the base models that just came out, they had the same pack and the exact same range because they have different motors, but not because of the cells. So,
but I think in this case, it looks like China is asking to make one that's 800 kilometers, and Israel's is 750. So you would think that really it should be probably the other way around because of the Model 3 is a little bit more aerodynamic.
Yeah.
But again, it's what I find interesting here is that you've got a possibility that maybe they're testing something. Maybe this is something that they want to test in a certain market based on its size. Although China is the biggest size that they have, and Israel is probably the smallest.
Yeah, but China's got their own factory going on. Uh, that is something else to consider, though. Is the base Model 3 has the old motor in the States, and I guess if you guys get it in Canada, some place just opened up recently. Was it Europe? But I don't know if it was for the Model 3 as well. I think it's just the Y. But the 3 has the old motor, and the Y has a new motor, and so combine that with the new battery, they get the same range. But if you put the new motor in the Model 3 elsewhere, that could show the difference, and that could be what we're looking at there.
Right, because the 82 kilowatt hour pack is pretty standard. Yeah, so even though that's what this article was reporting, that's been in the performance for a while, and I think it's also in the extended range now. So if they're doing that, but they have a new, more efficient motor and it's rear wheel only, that might be why they're getting this additional. It's amazing to me. Tesla makes batteries. They get them from LG, CATL. I don't know who else.
Everywhere.
BYD. Yeah, they get them from all over, and yet they're still a. I don't know if they have any Ever-Readies in there yet, but if they made good quality rechargeable batteries, I'm sure they'd be in there. I find it amazing that there isn't more of this, just because they have so many different cell types and packs and other things that if they have a certain number that they can make with a given cell, and there's a market that's about that same size, okay, let's put those there instead of having this other market where some of them are this and some of them are that, and then customers some are gonna want this type and some are gonna want that type. Let's just limit the choice to one that makes it easier for service centers, that makes it easier for customer selection. Because we've seen them do this when they're phasing in new things. They try to use all of the old one, have some gap, allow the channel to sell through, and then start the new one. Even if they are producing them in the meantime, they don't immediately send them to market, just because they don't want those mix of things out there.
Yeah, the mix, the direct comparisons, the in the past they would just kind of trickle them out item as they happen. They still do some of that, but not as much as they used to. And we saw kind of why. You've got like the same folks with the micrometer on the door gaps are the same ones, looking down to see, all right, is this the LG cell? Is this the Panasonic? Is this the cattle? They're not really equipped for that at the delivery centers or the galleries or the stores. And so if you don't let that happen, then you don't have that particular
scrutiny.
Exactly, and they don't have to have them worry about it at the delivery level, and then you can still put them in on your warranty replacements. So, oh, I got the Panasonic. Yeah. Oh, I got a CAT-L now. And I'm not saying that either one is good or bad, because they wouldn't have passed to be included if they weren't good enough. So.
Yeah. What's interesting is that, like I said, China's such a large market. Israel's such a small market. I guess Israel would make more sense as a test, as opposed to China. But like as Casey said, they do have this massive factory that produces almost 1 million vehicles a year. So I'm sure they've got an R&D department in there that's quite large, that's looking at different things and what they could do to improve. And maybe that's something in China, is like, you know what, we just made the Model Y L, and we could add another 100 kilometers to the mix on our Model Ys. We have the potential of picking up more sales. And that may be a calculation that they've looked into as well.
Yeah, or Sanyo says, hey, we got another batch of cells that can go out here, and we only have enough for 2,000 cars. And then they look at Israel and say, all right, you're only going to sell 2,000 cars this year. Boom, you get the whole allotment, and we know what's going on over there, versus because the technicians will still know, and then if they don't have to adjust.
If they mix them into the larger group, then you're going to you need to train more people. You need to have more service departments available to make changes or understand what the changes are in these vehicles, Whereas if you can keep it to a localized, smaller market, it just enhances communication.
Right, and even if everything's exactly the same, but hey, these ones are going to have a high voltage of 4 volts and a resting voltage of 4.1 and a low voltage of 3.5 before the cutoff, just to not have to have all those tables in your head or have to look it up. It could just be simpler if it's a small batch thing, or again with the testing. All right, well, we'll give these guys this battery, and we'll give these guys this battery and this motor, and we'll give these guys this motor, and then we're gonna let them run for a year, or 6 months, or a quarter, and that will give us our enough data to extrapolate out, and now we know what we want to do for the next step change for the fleet, and then they can just quietly discontinue that which didn't work. And similar we saw with the early Foundation series. All right, it's time to change your front motors out. It's not a recall, but we're going to change your front motor out for free.
Yeah,
little stuff like that.
Yeah, benchmarking allowed them to make these changes in a direction that's going to help them out down the road.
Yeah, because you can do a lot in the lab and in the sims, but you do got to get the metal to the road at some point. And if it's a smaller area that doesn't make the media too much, you can do those free swaps without having to. If it doesn't meet your requirements, you can say, all right, we're just gonna here's a courtesy swap, a new battery pack. Don't worry about it. You don't have to tell anybody what happened.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Do you know where the vehicles for Israel are manufactured? Which gigafactory?
Excellent question. I didn't look that up for the show. No, I don't know where that is.
Shanghai.
That's what I was figuring, because it's not like it was, Pakistan or India.
Seems like it'd be closer to the Berlin factory, but the Shanghai has become such a major export hub.
Yeah,
exactly. Plus, with Berlin being the strategic, because you got to get your vehicles from Berlin to Canada, you got to get your vehicles from Berlin to Taiwan, India, and Pakistan, and it's politics.
Well, let's push it out to the audience. What do you think's going on here? Is there something that we've missed? Is there some explanation that makes more sense, or makes different sense than what we've presented here? We'd like to see it in the comments. Let us know what you think as to why these two particular longer models are going into production, and what does that mean for Tesla as a whole? I'm sure it doesn't mean everyone's getting an 800-kilometer battery pack for free. That's definitely not what's happening here. But let us know what you think in the comments as to what's happening here.
With that we're going to give you 50 more miles for $10,000.
That's right. It always comes at a cost. It always comes at a cost. Remember that. Casey, what do you got for shoutouts?
Hey, catch us on the next Express show right here at the same time, same place on Monday. And if you don't mind, check me out over at youtube.com/Casey Green or x.com/gcustom for Let's Chat with Casey and Friends at 1:20 Eastern and 1:20 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. And I'll be glad to see you guys there.
Absolutely. Patrick, any shoutouts?
As always, I'm with the Oregon Electric Vehicle Association. You can find us at oeva.org, and I blog occasionally at carswithcords.net, where I write about my future free from fossil fuels. Thanks.
Exactly. Thank you so much. And if you haven't already, please give us that thumbs up, press that subscribe button, and help us out. Would really appreciate it. And we'll get together next time and find out what's happening in the Tesla life.